Hello and welcome to News Now. The Nigerian Army says troops involved in the counterinsurgency operation codenamed Operation Lafia Dole are making steady progress towards clearing all Boko Haram enclaves in and around the Sambisa Forest area. A statement issued on Wednesday by the Acting Director of Army Public Relations, Colonel Sani Usman, said troops were currently clearing hideouts occupied by the terrorists. He reaffirmed the commitment of the Nigerian Army towards ending insurgency and ensuring a safe and secure Nigeria in line with the directive of President Muhammadu Buhari. The Nigerian Army says its troops have intercepted and arrested some kingpins and foot soldiers of suppliers of Boko Haram terrorists with hard drugs and other stimulants between Depchi and Gaidam in Gaidam local government area of Yobe State in northeast Nigeria. A statement by Army spokesman Colonel Usman Sani says the suppliers were actually arrested by troops of 3 Division on Tuesday following directives by Army headquarters to troops in the region. Colonel Usman said the arrested persons were also engaged in the supply of fuel in addition to hard drugs such as cannabis, chloroform substance and tramol, among others. The Nigerian Army said it would continue to do its best in the fight against terrorism and insurgency in the country in order to make Nigeria safe and secure. The National Emergency Management Agency has said it has received another 650 Nigerians sent back from home from Cameroon Republic. The agency's camps coordinator Saad Bello Wednesday said the repatriated Nigerians were mostly women and children. According to him, so far, the agency has received over 9,000 Nigerians who escaped Boko Haram attacks in the northeast region to Cameroon Republic. He said the agency has settled the IDPs in 4 major camps in the state. The agency has also appealed to well-meaning Nigerians and organizations to collaborate with it in assisting the IDPs. President Muhammadu Buhari says his administration would undertake a review of Nigerian foreign missions to determine those that are really essential. Speaking after being briefed by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Bulus Lolo, President Buhari said a presidential committee would be established to carry out the review. The president said the review would determine the number of essential missions Nigeria needs to maintain abroad so that appropriate standards and quality can be maintained. According to the Permanent Secretary, Nigeria currently has 119 foreign missions abroad. The country will spend 34 billion naira to run the missions in 2015. The president said there was no point in Nigeria operating missions all over the world with dilapidated facilities and demoralized staff when the need for some of the missions was questionable. The United States Assistant Secretary of State for Economic and Business Affairs, Ambassador Charles Rifkin, has advised Nigeria to look beyond offering the world its oil and gas and diversify its economy. Addressing financial experts at the 2015 Small and Medium Enterprises Financing Conference in Abuja, Rifkin said Nigeria should create more investor-friendly policies and reforms that will make it an attractive place to do business instead of always relying on oil.
Nigeria is one of the most important relationships that we have in Africa, of course. It has Africa's biggest population and its largest economy, and it means that, and that means it can drive Africa's rise as an economic power. And we look to Nigeria, not only as a friend and as an ally, but as a leader. It can be Africa's biggest engine of growth over the coming decades. Now, through President Obama's Power Africa and Trade Africa initiatives and other programs, we're working to promote growth here in Nigeria and across the region. And that includes helping to address energy challenges, reducing barriers to trade and investment, and building capacity. It also includes promoting entrepreneurship to create jobs and to create opportunities. Nigeria has much more to offer the world than oil and gas. And the United States has much more than its oil and gas industries that want to do business here in Nigeria. And our countries both have so much to gain with an open trade and investment climate, and we encourage President Buhari to create a business-friendly environment that welcomes outside investment and doesn't create barriers to trade. Because trade and investment, ladies and gentlemen, is not a zero-sum game. It's a step forward towards mutual prosperity with jobs and opportunity for people on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. And as the rebasing exercise demonstrated,
the Nigerian Senate has commenced a probe into the country's power sector from 1999 till date. The probe is suspected to span through the administrations of former Presidents Olusegun Obasanjo, late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, and Goodluck Jonathan. The Senate Ad hoc Committee on Power, inaugurated by the Senate President Bukola Saraki about 2 weeks ago, in a statement made its plans public. Saraki had, at the inauguration of the committee, charged it to conduct a comprehensive probe of allegations of questionable practices in the power sector. He condemned the continued absence of regular power supply in spite of the huge investments in the sector, saying it was denying the nation the desired development. President Muhammadu Buhari met with former President Olusegun Obasanjo behind closed doors at the presidential villa. Details of the Tuesday meeting, which lasted for about an hour, was not disclosed as the former president dismissed reporters who approached him with questions concerning the meeting. This is Obasanjo's second visit to Buhari since the latter assumed office on May the 29th. President Buhari had on August the 21st named former President Obasanjo as his special envoy to mediate and help find a solution to the crisis brewing in Guinea-Bissau. The Nigerian military says it will assist the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) in a bid to prevent the theft of oil across the country. Chief of Defense Staff General Gabriel Olonishaki gave the assurance at the Defense Headquarters in Abuja on Tuesday during a meeting with NNPC Group Managing Director Emmanuel Kachuku, saying it is the duty of the military to safeguard the strategic assets of the nation. Aside from crude oil theft, the NNPC also sought more support from the military in tackling pipeline vandalism and other vices in Nigeria's maritime environment. Kachuku met with the Army Chief to discuss a proposal for soldiers to provide security for the corporation's equipment and assets. The Nigerian Navy already conducts patrols to fight vandalism, but the NNPC also wants to secure the use of more boats and Air Force involvement. President Buhari has said about 250,000 barrels per day of crude is stolen in Nigeria, which produces more than 2 million barrels per day. Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Health, Linus Awute, has said that even in the face of funding challenges, the ministry is poised to build a strong health system set to cater for all health emergencies in the country. Speaking at an event in Abuja on the policy dialogue on maternal nutrition and infant and young child feeding, he said that an appreciable inroad has been made in unraveling the key factors which fuel malnutrition. Meanwhile, Ngozi Nnam, Chairman, Civil Society Scaling Up Nutrition, called for concerted efforts towards improving nutrition programs with a view to boosting the nutrition status of all Nigerians.
The issue of funding will continue to be a problem, but then our resilience and willingness to also come all out to identify problem situations and then prioritize them, based on our in-house capacity, has always been a way out. And that's how we have been able to protect the lives of this country, because disease emergencies is not something that can often be predicted. So we can only build a resilient health system that will be able to address or respond to any given situation. But what we are doing here today, what is important today, is the fact that we have been able to identify factors that preclude efficiency in healthcare service delivery. Among these factors, there are some that you can handle with money. There are some that you can handle only by mere discipline. And so the issue of malnutrition, to me, is something that we can handle. All that it takes is to have the right principle, which we have identified and have manifested that in the form of a policy.
Scaling up nutrition in Nigeria is a coalition of people who are interested in nutrition and improving nutrition in Nigeria. And what it is all about is to find ways of ensuring that some nutrition programs are effectively executed, because we know there are nutrition programs here and there, but somehow they are not given the attention they deserve. So the coalition, civil society organization that have come together, their intention is to sensitize government, sensitize development partners to do more, put in more efforts towards improving nutrition programs, both nutrition sensitive programs, so that we can improve the nutritional status of all Nigerians.
The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) has postponed the Kogi State governorship primaries earlier scheduled to hold on Thursday, September 10. The party has moved it now by 4 days. This was contained in a statement released by the party spokesperson Olisametu, who said the reason for the postponement basically boils down to logistic issues pertaining the exercise. The statement noted that the NWC has fixed September 14 as the new date for the party's primaries, directing all members of the party to take note. Osun State Governor Ralph Aragweshala on Tuesday assured civil servants that they will be paid their outstanding salary arrears before the end of the month. Aragweshala made the disclosure at the national flag-off ceremony in Osogbo, the Osun State capital. He explained that his administration is committed to the welfare of its workers and reassured that the 8-month salaries owed them will be settled before the end of September. He, however, expressed disappointment that some workers are working against his efforts to block leakages in all sectors of the state economy, even as he urged the workers to join in the fight against all corrupt practices capable of destabilizing the nation. We'll take a short break here, and News Now will be right back.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching the Funny White Man Show, which is the biggest, the brightest, and the most entertaining show in Africa.
Funny white man, for this way you talk, it's too much. Give me 5,000 man that you. It's too much. So you get it like, when she move along the street, yeah, me should like that, I'm going girl. You know, my own people, actually. Yeah, fine, it's fun. I enjoy it. And I'm one of those very few.
I'm forever taking it personal. I will listen 160 million Nigerians are corrupt. How? My brother, I'm looking for you.
Yeah, but it's a growth, and this is the time to build business and know the pitfalls and know what to do and what not to do. But there are months where you get business and months.
You know how we do, how we tell you. We do the way you do.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching Trending Matters on the Funny White Man Show. Of course, they will bring you trending issues just to entertain and tickle your fancy.
Welcome back. The Lagos State Chamber of Commerce and Industry says the manufacturing and service sectors in the country have now entered a recession following a 40% decline in Nigeria's growth rate for the second quarter. And it says tight forex policies by the Central Bank of Nigeria is partly to blame, especially for the decline in the manufacturing sector. Speaking at a media briefing to present the third quarter report of the LCCI on the state of the economy, President of the Chamber, Remi Bello, said while the past 100 days of the Buhari administration has recorded some positive developments for the economy like improved power supply, intensified war against terrorism and genuine fight against corruption, the economy continues to reel in the face of depleted government revenue as a result of the fall in global oil prices. The LCCI president said the biggest challenge confronting investors in Nigeria at the moment is a CBN policy on foreign exchange, which he says has caused a lot of disruptions and dislocations for local manufacturers who are finding the business environment much stifling. The foremost Chamber of Commerce in Nigeria called on President Buhari to review the situation, saying the CBN should allow market forces determining the exchange rate with some minimal intervention. Now, stronger stock markets helped stabilize crude oil prices on Wednesday, yet concerns about oversupply persisted. Asian shares extended global stock market gains, with markets in China stabilizing and Japanese stocks posting their biggest one-day gains since the height of the global financial crisis in 2008. Now, Brent crude was trading at $49.61 per barrel, while U.S. crude was down 6 cents to $45.88 a barrel. Oil prices have fallen by more than 50% since June 2014 as a result of global supply glut. Queen Elizabeth II has made history by becoming the longest-serving British monarch on record. Queen Elizabeth, who ascended the throne aged just 25 as her country struggled to recover from the ravages of World War II, achieved the landmark status on Wednesday. The Queen, now aged 89, is also the nation's oldest ever monarch as she surpasses the 63 years, 7 months, 2 days, 16 hours and 23 minutes that her great-grandmother, Queen Victoria, spent on the throne. British Prime Minister David Cameron led tributes to the Queen, saying the service the Queen had given was truly humbling. South Africa says on Wednesday it was monitoring a number of people linked to a reported threat to U.S. interests, but was satisfied that no one in the country faced any imminent danger. The U.S. Embassy warned its citizens on Tuesday of a possible attack by extremists. This is a rare security alert in a stable democracy seldom associated with Islamist militancy. Now, South African State Security Minister David Malabo on Wednesday said the U.S. Embassy had shared information linked to the warning with his officials. In Washington, State Department spokesperson John Kirby said he could not elaborate on what prompted the embassy announcement, adding, quote, "The embassy had information indicating a potential terrorist threat," end of quote. Let's turn our attention to sports now. The Nigerian Sports Commission (NSC) and the Athletics Federation of Nigeria (AFN) have banned Commonwealth gold medalist Blessing Okagbari from the 2016 Olympics in Rio. The decision was reached after the 26-year-old refused to run for Nigeria in the 200 meters event at the just concluded IAAF World Championship in Beijing, China, while also opting out of the ongoing All-Africa Games in Congo. She had claimed that injury forced her out of both events, but the NSC were surprised to see her compete at the Diamond League in Zurich over the weekend, finishing second in the 100 meters event with 10.98 seconds behind Fraser Ann Price, who came first in a time of 10.93 seconds. Well, quite bad, really bad that she wouldn't run for Nigeria. Really wonder what some of these guys actually think. Now, world number 1 Serena Williams has defeated her sister Venus Williams in the U.S. Open quarterfinals. The 33-year-old is now just 2 victories from joining Maureen Connolly, Margaret Court and Steffi Graf as the only women to win all 4 major single titles in a season. She will now face unseeded Italian Roberta Vinci in the semi-finals on Thursday. Croatia has sacked Niko Kovac as the head coach of the country's national team after the country failed to win any of their last 2 European Championship qualifying matches. The coach was dismissed by the Croatian Football Association after the poor results dented their hopes of clinching an automatic ticket to next year's showpiece in France. His dismissal was announced in a news conference by the Croatian FA president Davor Suker. Suker declined to name any of the candidates, but Croatian media have widely touted Lokomotiva Zagreb coach Ante Kasic as Kovac's most likely replacement. Davor Suker, a great player he was during his time, and too bad what is happening to Croatia at the moment. Just too bad. That's it on News Now for now. We thank you very much for watching. Continue to stay tuned to TV360. We have a lot of programs coming your way.